I ended up giving this low effort man a chance and I regret it. He hadn't been great at responding, which I'm trying to be more chill about, so I was like, okay, let's see how this works. But then I asked my therapist about it, and she said that I should stop going after emotionally unavailable men who can't offer what I literally need. So I ended up ghosting him, and then he double texted me, so I was like, well, that's showing effort. That's not emotionally unavailable. So I gave him a chance. Then we went out for drinks. It was great. He was, after that, still pretty bad at texting, but I was like, whatever. We went out on a second date. He wanted to hold hands, and then he ghosted me after that date. Mind you, he just got out of a relationship in July, so I was already expecting nothing, but I'm mad that I gave him a chance even when I knew better, because I thought it might be different. Walking's not an acceptable first date.
Walking is not an acceptable first date. Says you. It is completely acceptable. A date isn't defined by the amount of money a man spends. What's up with that, Queens? I thought dates were all about the vibes. And considering she went out with him, he gave her those player vibes that made her feel a certain way. I'm going to guess he ghosted her because he knew it wasn't going the way he wanted. How does any of this translate to a low effort man? Ladies, is the word effort some code for how much money a guy spends on you? Next thing you know, the word creep is code for he isn't attractive. Oh, wait a minute. Anyway, I fail to recognize how this young queen falling for the lure of a Chad translates into him doing something negative that she needed to make this video about. Oh well, I guess this is a W for the therapist. I mean, silver lining and all. Moving on.
Here are 3 signs that a man is a low value, aka a brokey. Number 1, he is all talk and no action. So he's really good at selling you this fantasy, at telling you about all the wonderful, amazing things that he wants to do for you. And he's good at selling you this dream. But when it really comes down to his actions, when you really look at everything he's doing, it's giving bare minimum. Number 2, he is overly impressed with every little thing you do. He's impressed with the way that you look. He's like, wow, you have your hair, your nails, your lashes done. Like, wow. He's impressed with maybe the brands that you wear. He's impressed with what you do for work. He's impressed with your education. And I'm not talking about just, appreciating you and getting to know you, but I'm talking like, oh, wow. Like, wow, that's crazy. Like, overly impressed. Also, he will call you things like bougie, and he will call you things like high maintenance, and oh, you're big money, oh, you must be rich, oh, you must have all this money. Low value.
Fam, I am sorry for what I'm going to say. Not really. Let me just say it. The things this queen has said so far, she makes it sound like when a woman gets played. It's hard for most men to feel sympathy for women like that because the vast majority of the ones who get played are men. Ladies, let me explain it in another way. It sounds like the female version of an imp. I mean, her first point, he sells you dreams and women buy into it. Okay, that's about par for the course for men. Her second point of him being overly impressed with everything you do. Well, you know what that is, queen? That's a specialized player feeding into your boss babe ego. And the funny thing is, it works. Something this queen hasn't mentioned and probably won't is those type of guys she is talking about also target women who are married to rich, busy husbands. They are like a fox in a hen house. They go to these women whose husbands are off at long hours at work and convince them to have an affair. Like I said, it's effective.
Number 3, he is extremely concerned about what he's going to get out of the bargain. He is not willing to do anything until he knows what he's going to get out of you. He asks you what you bring to the table. He's like, okay, but what can you do for me? First of all, that's giving feminine energy. A high value man is going to be all actions. He's not going to just talk about things, but he's going to show you, and he's going to give without worrying about what he's going to get in return. Don't be letting these brokies fool you. And if you want more tips, make sure you follow me, and I hope this helps.
Basically, he's being a high-priced piece of A. And boss babes / rich married women are going to get those guys gifts, vacations, and money until the money runs out and he looks for his next conquest. I'm sorry, but the objective of this video was turned on its head. For those who can actually read between the lines, some of my male viewers would call that self-snitching. I call that the obvious that most could have told her from rip. Ladies, it's not that men are trying to say they told you so. but they told you so. Maybe if you use some logic instead of your feels so much, you might have avoided that. I am a totally straight shooter and will hold men equally accountable since they get played at a higher rate. I guess imping is gender neutral. Moving on.
Okay, so these are some signs of a low effort man. I want to say boy because they're not men. A low effort man will hate when you set boundaries. They don't like when you get upset if they flake on you or if they don't follow through. They don't like when you make it difficult for them to hang out with you. A low effort man will not speak to you for days and they'll leave you on red and they'll disappear for a long time. They ask you on dates last minute. They'll be like, hey, you want to go to dinner? And it's like 6:30. Or they'll be like, hey, you want to grab a drink? And it's like 8. They never make plans in advance. When you set boundaries, they don't listen to you and they completely disregard that. If you set a boundary and they don't like it, they will ghost you. Low value, low effort men love to be chased. They want to be a princess. They don't make time to see you or talk to you. When you do have plans, they find a way to pick it up last minute. They either fell asleep or they forgot or they got caught up, but they don't tell you because they're really, really bad at communication.
Fam, she put several points out there in like a scattered shotgun blast format. Let me try to address the highlights. Hate when you set boundaries. Okay, that was vague. What boundaries are we talking about? No backdoor entrance? No second girl joining in the bedroom? Or not getting up early on Sunday morning to go to sermon? Do you see how that requires more details? Okay. They don't like when you get upset when they flake on you. Is that a reference to him not texting her enough? Don't know. They don't like it when you make it difficult with them to hang out with you. That would be just about anybody. That sounded obtuse. Another one is they will disappear. That will be because you are part of his rotation roster there, Queen. They ask you out last minute. Okay, see previous reason for why that is. They never make plans in advance. Again, see previous reasons why that is. Once again, she mentions the vague boundaries. We get it. You don't want to get up early on Sundays. They love to be chased. And that's because you were always chasing them there, Queen. They don't make time to see you or talk to you. Didn't she say earlier she did the same thing? Girl, he is hanging out with his backup chick. That's why.
Low effort men lack direction. They can't make decisions. They constantly need compliments and praise. They're basically in their wounded feminine energy. These types of men are not worth your time. Not at all. So if you find yourself in a situation where you have encountered somebody like this and they disappeared and you're upset and you're feeling like you need to chase them, please stop. Please stop. Can you imagine how horrible it would be to actually be in a committed relationship with a person like this? They don't value your time or your energy. They don't value you. They don't respect you. They're selfish. They're not ready for a divine connection, not ready for a divine feminine energy. It's too much to handle for them. Respect yourself enough to walk away.
They constantly need compliments and praise. Okay, that makes a guy low value, or does it make a woman grateful? It sounds like something a non-grateful person would say, to be honest. And the gem of what she said. Can you imagine how horrible it would be in a committed relationship with a person like this? Nah. I'm sure that 90% plus of all my male viewers couldn't fathom how living day to day with a person like that could be. Total alien language to men out there. Oh my word, are there actually people out there like that, Queen? Poor you. The suffering is unimaginable. And she follows up by saying, they don't value your time, they don't value you, they don't respect you, they are selfish. Oh, poor thing. Tell us how you really feel. If only men knew how it's like to experience that. I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.